Record. Guys, I want to thank you so much for attending tonight's International Flight Campaign. You are in for a treat. I am flat out excited, guys. I hope you got something to write with, paper, pencil, pen. We're going to have a phenomenal presentation, and I want to make sure that you don't miss one bit. Having said that, guys, what we're going to talk about is the importance of building to big events. And so first of all, what I want you to understand is every leader that you talk to will reflect back and it was at a big event that their life was changed. You know, I remember mine was going to a convention and seeing a guy who spoke Spanish who had hit a pen level, which was the highest, and he didn't even speak English. And so I remember my life being changed at that event and several other events. So having said this is a home-based business. And everybody that's in the IFC is focused on they want to grow the marketing side. But I do want to make this point. You don't have to attend big events. It is a home-based business. However, all successful leaders never miss a big event. And so I really want to give you a different perspective tonight. I really want to highlight, I think sometimes we just think, okay, that's a meeting, but you don't really understand it's a truly big event. And so I want to really kind of magnify, highlight how important it is to build from big event, particularly with the calendar this month and the upcoming calendars. Guys, there's something that's happening that's big in vacation. I mean, right now, I don't want anybody to miss it. And I don't want anybody in the IFC to miss it. Now, what I want you to understand is, guys, you got to leverage the time and talents of your leadership. The person that's one of the top paid people in boxing, and they never threw a punch, is Don King. Like, guys, think about that. Don King has made a fortune in the boxing ring and ain't never boxed. But how? He's the promoter. He's the one that puts together the events, and he draws people from all over the world to come see this event. Guys, I want you to think about it. Mr. Russell Simmons, you know, he put on Def Jam. I mean, he's highlighted so many. He's been the producer of Run DMC and so many other groups, but he's not made no album. But how's he one of the highest paid music execs, and he has a clothing line, right? Because I want you to understand that, guess what? He's a promoter. Guys, I need you to put yourself in the mindset of the same thing. I got to be a promoter because the promoters make the most money. And your job is simply to get more and more and more people to big events. Ooh, this is going to be good. I hope you're ready. Now, having said that, what I want you to understand, Mr. Donaldson, success and failure accidents, they're not accidents, but they're consequences. What that means is the reason I say the consequence of doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing. And as I was talking to Mr. Sterling today, he began to just share with me how, because he came from another culture, he understood the importance of getting more and more and more people to big events. And so I really wanted to kind of share our conversation that we had today with you. But like I said, he changed what my presentation was going to be about tonight. But just like success and failures are not accidents, they're consequences, failure is not an accident. When people don't have results, they say it's not working for me. It's the result of doing the wrong things over and over and over. It's the slight edge. The slight edge says doing the simple things over a period of time until it compounds, till it becomes a habit. It compounds. And guys, I want you to understand the right action is, guess what? You got to be a promoter, and it's getting more and more people to big events. Now, this is one of the things that I kept hearing. Carolyn, Belinda, what I kept hearing was, he said, listen, go to every meeting you qualify to attend. Every meeting that you qualify to attend, you say, well, should I go to this meeting? No, guys. Go to every meeting that you qualify to attend. And don't let anything stop you from being there. Guys, you're going to have life. And again, we've always talked about we're going to measure results. But I want you to understand this is a key component. And I'm going to highlight tonight and really bring it into focus so that you understand that it's not just doing one thing. It's doing a combination of multiple things at the same time. But guys, go to every event that you qualify to attend. See, Erica, it's so important, you know. You may say, what if they have an event that's for regionals only or for nationals and above? Guys, if you're a national, you need to be at that event. See, guys, you can't miss it. You can't, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, Joanne. You can't say, well, no, go to every event that you qualify to attend. And listen, don't let anything stop you. Guys, you're going to have people at the last moment, they're going to try to say, well, can you do this or can you do that? I'm not telling you, but you're going to have to be selfish and treat the big event. Guys, when I first started, I wanted you to understand this. My first exposure was to a company called Primerica Financial Services, and I saw people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so, guys, I was inspired, and so I learned this early that you attend, don't miss big events. There's a gentleman who is the #1 income earner in network marketing. He said for his first 7 years, he didn't make any money. He made the most in 1 month was $500, but he never missed an event. See, guys, there's something about attending all the big events. So listen, don't let anything stop you. You know, you're going to have things come up. Well, Shedrick, I don't have the money. Guys, listen to me. Don't let nothing stop you. Make sure you attend the big events. Now, having said that, this is a formula. You beat 50% of the people by simply showing up. Guys, you gotta show up. You gotta show up. I just talked about that. But guess what? Because we already understand 50% of people ain't gonna show up. They're gonna find a reason why they can't make it. Oh, I had to work. I get it. I'm not telling you to miss, but I'm telling you got to attend the big events. You got to attend the big events. 40% of the people you're gonna beat by simply doing what's right. And what do I mean by that is, guys, that's the character side. That's doing what's right because it's right. That's, yes, you got the opportunity to sign up somebody that's not on your team, but no, you're going to do the right thing. So you're going to beat 40% of people by simply doing what's right. But the last 10%, it's a dogfight. See, guys, in the IFC, we're going to make sure that you are totally equipped. So, again, you beat 50% of the people by simply showing up. See, Lecture, you beat 40% of the people by doing what's right. Enjoy Dawkins, the last 10%, I'm telling you, it's a dogfight. Are you ready? Now, how do we explode our business? Listen to me. It's going to be so simple, but this is so good. Getting more and more people to big events. Guys, how do you explode your business? Getting more and more people plugged into the power source. Guys, how do you take your business? See, many of you got what it takes, and you keep focusing on, okay, I got to get a new person. I'm going to tell you, that's good, because those are the stages, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, but you will explode your business. You'll turn your business around. You will revolutionize your business by simply getting more and more people out to big events. And I know what some of you thinking, well, man, if I lived in Atlanta, or man, if I, listen to me. Well, let me go on. Get more and more people out. Now, what's the power source? I introduced a new term or new word. A power source is an event or individual that ignites or empowers your business. See, sometimes you got to get people plugged in. So guess what? It could be the launch call. That's a big event. You got to be the promoter. It could be something that it ignites. It's bigger than you. But guess what? It charges your business. Guys, if you got a cell phone, and I'm sure everybody on this line has one, if you don't plug it in, it's going to lose its charge. And that's what happens with so many people. I know they don't really understand the importance of the big event. And so I'm going to empower you today so you can turn around and empower your team. Understand this. Well, Shedrick, I don't have a team. Well, then you got to get charged, because, guys, if you stay plugged into the power source, it's only a matter of time. But stay plugged into the power source, and guys, you'll explode your business. Now, listen, grow your attendance from event to event. This is one of the things that Mark, he was showing me in his calendar. Focus on building 2 big events and getting more and more people out to big events. Guys, that's not new, I said that. But these are the stages. The stages that you're going to go through is everybody has to be the performer. Everybody has to first focus on getting people out personal themselves. You got to take your list that you got to go through the process of piquing interest. You got to be in a hurry, show value. You got to take it away, but you got to continue to focus on, I'm going to have 5 guests out to this event. I'm going to get me 10 guests out to this event. Now, guys, you got to go through the numbers. I'm not saying if you got one good prospect, that's good, but don't just focus on one. Make sure you're constantly inviting. Miss Gail, make sure you're inviting. Why? Because it's so important that you set the tone. You got to be the one to, guess what, get it started. You're the performer. And then where I got this analogy from, one day I was talking to an individual and I was talking about the stages, and this was just something that came to me. I thought about the music industry. See, I'm the type of person I like looking for analogies so I can get the big picture. See, I think it's hard to sometimes see the picture when you're the one in the frame. So many times it's hard to really grasp things because you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? But if you could see the big picture, if you could change your vantage point, if you could see what's really going on and look at the from a different angle, I think that it'll change the dynamic of your business in a major way. So these are the stages that I think everybody has to be the performer. I think if you think about a musician, they all start out doing it. What I mean, they make an album, they're in the studio, they're practicing hard to read, they're doing it. They're putting the time in. They're staying up. They're getting up early. They're staying up late. They're in the studio. I mean, they're doing it. They create an album. They're doing everything they got to, and then they take their disc or CD out, and they out peddling to people. They're saying, "You want to buy my CD?" I mean, they're selling it. They're doing it all. Why? Because they're the performer. It's nothing that's too big for them. They perfected doing the small things in a big way. Why am I saying this? Because that's the stages all of us have to be in. We hit the reset button. All of us have to go through and do it first. We can't just focus on, okay, no. We have to show our team what to do. We got to get guests out. So that's the first stage. The next stage is producer. Now that you're having some success, now that you got 4 or 5 guests out, now that you've gotten them to sign up, now you got to get them coming back. See, we get them out, but guys, how many do we get to come back? And that's another slide coming up. But now who are you producing? See, you got to continue to get guests out, but now through your team, you have guests coming out. And then you get to where you, like Mr. Bradley, you're the one having the event. You got 4 or 5 events going on at the same time. You're the promoter. And guys, I'm going to tell you, we ultimately are the promoter, but we got to be willing to go through the stages: performer, producer, promoter. That was good. I can stop right there. That was good. That was worth everything right there. If you understand that, Miss Patsy, I'm telling you, this is what we got to do. It's the stages of growth. Now, I'm going to give you some points just to give you the mindset, and then we're going to kind of conclude this. The first point is this: why should you plug in the big events? I want to kind of cover this because I want you to understand the philosophy. I don't just want to tell you go to big events. I want to kind of give you the why. I want to give you the reasoning behind it. See, Don, I think if people don't understand the why, the how is easy if you understand the why. Number one reason why, not necessarily number one, but one of the reasons why you should continue to get more and more people out to big events is because it allows you to measure your growth. As a business owner, business owners look at numbers. They have to tell that we grow year from year. Okay, this is the sales we made last year. This is how many sales we made this year. Okay, we took a loss or we made a profit. This is, see, day by day, you got to measure your growth. And it's great that we have a back office that really allows you to measure your growth. You can do the statistics, the charts. But one of the ways you can really measure your growth as a business is, did I have people join, and how many people did I have come out to the big event? And did it grow from last week? See, guys, it doesn't matter, but did your attendance grow from week to week? So as a business owner, there are 2 times that you should be concerned. And I want to cover this. Please write this down. There are 2 times that you should be concerned, or it should raise a flag. Richard, see, we all in business, but you got to pay attention to the numbers. And the first one, Vanita, is this. You got to say, well, my attendance drops. You got to pay attention to this. So it's just like a store owner, when they notice that, wait a minute, our sales are dropping, they pay attention. We are business owners. So we got to pay attention when our attendance drops. When we had 20 teammates out this week, and next week we had 10, we got to pay attention. It should send up an alarm, right? Because we should grow, not decrease. The second thing you got to pay attention to is when the quality of your business drops. What do I mean? The type of people you got coming out drops. I'm not saying that everybody's got to be an MBA, a Harvard graduate. They got to be a business owner, a network marketer. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to pay attention when you start seeing the quality of the people drop. I'm not isolating the same because a person has on a hat or no, but you know what I mean. See, guys, you got to look at your attendance, and then you got to measure the quality of your business. So that's point number one. Guys, it's important because it's a measuring tool. You got to measure from week to week. Is my business growing? And you can look at the genealogy. Number 2. Now, this is important. This is really part number 1. Guys, you're going to be the power source. And so initially, you're going to start out by inviting people. But this is a point. A lot of people they're starting new meetings and so forth, and that's cool. But what I want you to understand is never divide, but always multiply. What do I mean? Build up your attendance and then give your leaders that emerge. Now, once you emerge as a leader, you become the power source. What I'm saying is this. Stay plugged into the big source because there's strength in numbers. And then once you got strength in numbers, then guess what? You become the power source. So, guys, I love when people start their own, but I just want you to understand, never divide, always multiply. Now, point number 2. Guys, why are meetings important? Because, Tawana, the meetings encourage the discouraged. People naturally get discouraged, guys. When they're not plugged in, they get discouraged. Oh, it's not working. Oh, nobody's joining. Man, I don't get them to the big event. See, because what you got to understand is it's a progression in business. The business immediately they encourage when they get in the environment, when they get around other people. See, the churches realize this. That's why they have a scripture that says, forsake not dissembling yourselves together with believers. It's so important that you keep people plugged in to the power source. See, guys, throughout the week, your job is continue to talk to people. Hey, I'm going to see you. Like, we meet on Tuesdays. Some of you meet on Mondays. Some meet, but guess what? Through the week, you should be talking to your leaders. Confirming, hey, I'm going to see you on Monday, right? And I'm not saying that's the only thing. Talk to them about their goals or dreams, but continue to make sure you confirm it. Hey, I'm going to see you. Why? When people get discouraged, hey, I need you you're going to be out on this week, right? See, get them to come out to the big event. Don't be scared. Don't assume anything. And I'm going to help you with this. Never expect what you're not willing to inspect. See, right now, what I'm going to do is go through and call people. I'm going to say, Ms. Wander, I'm going to see you this week, right? And she'll let me know I got to work or that. But guess what? I'm going through now, and you're going to see I'm going to implement this. See, Rhonda, see, your team's growing, but now you got to encourage them. Hey, I need you to be there Tuesday. Why? Don't just keep coming by yourself. Get your team to come. That's how you see growth. See, Richard, I'm telling you, this is going to be key. Now, well, Shuddock, there's not a meeting in my area. Well, you should be doing travel parties weekly. And guess what? When you do travel parties, it's the same concept. You get a whole bunch of people out to your travel party. Somebody's going to join. Whether you play a DVD, because this question will come up later, so let me answer right now. You can play a DVD. You start, it's the same concept. How do you think the meeting started? It started with somebody doing an event together, or 3 or 4 people coming together and decide, let's all invite. It didn't just start us grabbing a hotel. It started from a home party. But guess what? That's the same thing. So, oh, I'm not in Atlanta. So what? You start by doing a travel party. And you start by doing travel parties, and like you say, you the performer. You invite 10, 20, 30 people to come out. And then once they come out, some are going to join. Well, guess what? Have it the very next week. It's just like a weekly meeting. And guess what? And have them bring people. And it's going to keep growing. And you do it again. And before you know it, you won't be able to fit in the home. But people get them in the same concept. So guess what? If there's not a meeting in your area, you start with home travel parties. And you do the same process that we're talking about. Home meetings, big meetings, it's the same thing. Now, but big meetings encourage to discourage. The next thing is big meetings allow you to recruit open-minded people. See, guys, last night our meeting was amazing. You know, guys, we had a gentleman who in the last 50 days just hit National Diamond. I don't know if you saw the news announcement or what, but chat, it was just amazing. And to see this guy who's 26 years old, you know, we had him shut down the room and he shut it down. And there were people who's come saying, all right, sign me up. Why? Because big meetings allowed you to recruit the open-minded. They get to see other people like themselves. Most people will make major decisions when they go or to do something significant when they go to a big event. Plus, you see the top leaders. You see the best presenters. Guys, I'm telling you, most leaders came from big events. Now, another reason why you want to attend big events is this. Ron, big events renew the vision of the distracted. It's so hard to stay focused in the unfocused world. I see so many people that they're easily distracted. But if you continue to get people out to the big events, to, again, your home parties, to the launch calls, get them to big events. It's going to renew their vision. See, there's a reason why they started. Now, people always want to tell you why they stop. I said, look, don't tell me why you stopped and tell me why you started. Why did you get in? Well, I wanted to travel. Well, have you traveled? No. Well, why are you quitting? Well, I want to get in for tax breaks. Well, have you got your tax breaks? No. Well, why are you quitting? See, guys, you got to renew their vision. Why did they start? That's what big events will do. They will renew their vision. So let's go to the next one. Big events dispel the excuses, and I'm going to say it, of the weak-minded. At big events, you have a chance to see other people winning. I love when I see different people going up and sharing their story. But see, now what's your excuse? See, everybody has a reason, but when you see somebody else doing it, it takes away the excuses. When you see other people walking across the stage, when you see other people winning, that many people can't be winning, so it takes away the excuses. That's why you got to get people out to the big events. The next one, big events create a team culture. Ooh, this one's good. See, guys, a lot of times, I understand you get on the phone and you talk to people, but I'm going to tell you, it's something about groups. Crowds breeds crowds. And what I'm saying is now we got to put a focus. As everybody on this phone, we have to focus on this. We have to focus on creating a team culture. What is that? Which gets your team, see, when your team see themselves together, you got to create that culture. But teams that don't bond don't build. So I'm encouraging you to do things with your teams outside of the meeting. Guess what? Go to a movie with your team or do some volunteer activity. But guys, yes, continue to get your teams to the meeting, but do things outside of the meeting with your team. Because when you create that culture, now it's a movement. See, when it's just you don't feel as powerful. But when it's a force of you, when it's 10 of you, 15, 20, I don't care what it is, you can move mountains. So guys, again, we're going to focus on the importance of building 2 big events. And big events create a team culture. And that's what's so important. You want to get your teammates out so they can meet each other. You want to get your teammates out so they can create that relationship. Mr. Bradley would always say one of the strengths of teamwork was the cousins would play with each other. Me and Trey are sideline, but we build from each other. We look forward to seeing each other. We we talk to each other's teammates and vice versa. You get to meet people. But if you don't have your team coming together, they just think it's them. Oh, they think they're the only one that's going through till they talk to somebody else and say, girl, look, see, you got to get your team out to the big events. You got to make this big. Now, let's talk about another reason for big events. See, Roger Clark, what happens for big events is, what big events do is they challenge non-producers to become producers. I'm telling you, big decisions are made at big events. See, when you see people producing, I mean, like when I saw Chad in like 50 days, I mean, I was already moving, but I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm not upset. I'm so excited for it. It just shows it can be done. And I'm not even talking about Chad Thompson. There's so many other people that's coming in and hitting national and executives and regionals. And see, guys, that's exciting. You know, don't get focused on the ones that come in and they put 1,500 people in. No, what about the one that came in and in a week put 3 people in? What about somebody who just got promoted? See, guys, they need to meet those people too. And guess what? This is something I learned. This was so good. Listen to me. I talked to Chad Thompson, and I'm going to share this with you. I talked to Chad because he builds a lot on the internet, but they're plugged in and they do meetings. And I asked Chad, he said, well, what did I teach my team is to take pictures with everybody. And guess what? Put it on the internet. He said, because they don't know whose team they're part. He said, even if your team didn't grow, take a picture with somebody and put it on the internet. I said, man, that's good. See, that's why they're always taking pictures and they tag people in because they want people to think their team's growing. It's the perception, whether it's growing or not. I know y'all say, oh, that's good. Absolutely. See, now when Facebook used Facebook and Instagram, and he was talking about how he intentionally, creates that audience because people are always looking and studying your page. I wasn't doing this, but guess what? Oh my goodness. When I talked to Mark, and Mark was telling me how he was a part of a company and they would have 2,500 people at their event, he was casting my vision and say, oh man, I got it. I changed what we was talking about tonight. See guys, big events challenge non-producers to become producers, right? Now, see, you talk to people, say, when you get promoted? When they see somebody else, see, now you get to talk to them, say, hey, you saw that young lady up there, and let them go talk to him or her. Let them talk to that person. But guess what? So it takes away the excuses. Let your guests talk to the people they see going up front. What's another reason? I know you're like, shit, are you so excited? I am. I'm going to slow down. Okay, I'm so excited. Steve, I get excited. See, I see that, Tracy, you get to build San Antonio. You get to explode Columbia, South Carolina. I see you get to just really, guys, getting more and more people out to big events. Now, what does big events do also? It increases the confidence by increasing the competence. See, guys, when we have training, travel training, or the 4 steps, guys, come with a notepad. If you're going to work, come with something to take notes with. What's the point, guys? You're there to learn. And I know this is elementary, but this is so important. See, everybody wants to, this is not deep. No, it's simple. But that's what makes it so profound. It's the simple things. But what happens is your confidence increases. You learn something you didn't know. Maybe somebody presents it a different way. You might have heard it before, but maybe you hear it different from somebody else. Maybe it clicks, but at a big event, see, you get to develop your skills. Why? Because you're around other leaders. You get to hear testimonials. You get to hear people say, this is what I'm saying, or this is what I'm doing. You're like, okay. That's why it's so important to get people out to the big events. And I know what the question, what if my people ain't coming? Guys, go get some new people. So let's talk about a couple other ones. I'm telling you, I got something about to get to you. You're going to be so excited. What's another reason? Big events paint a bigger vision. They get to see the magnitude of the opportunity. Here's what I want. A lot of times I hear people say, well, I'm having people in my house, and that's good. But listen, if there's a Super Saturday like in Atlanta, you need to be at the big event. You got the #1 income earner. You got Spencer Iverson, the VP of Development. You got Mark Sterling. In Atlanta, you got Lori Spears. And you're thinking about, well, I got, no. Whatever you're doing, you need to get to the big event. And you need to get your people to the big event. You're going to have Trey Harris. We're going to be in Detroit on Friday. Guys, you got to be a promoter. When you're going to be in Detroit on Friday, you got to be focused on getting everybody on your team out. You got to be getting, you understand what I'm saying? We're going to be in Milwaukee on Saturday. You got Trey Harris, the #2 income earner. You got Ann Jones, the #1 female income earner, but the #6. Guys, we're going to be there. See, your job is, guess what? I got to be promoted. I want when you get off this webinar, you just think about, oh my God, I got to call all my team. Active, inactive. I got to get them out to this big event because big events paint a bigger vision. See, you get to see it's bigger than you. Sometimes you can't explain it, but there's so much, but they got to see it bigger. When they hear a guy that used to be in a salon and do hair, and now he's retired and he's retiring his mother-in-law, and this gentleman is making over $20,000, they're like, whoa. When they hear about a gentleman who used to be a waiter, used to wait tables. I mean, see, they get inspired. And they start saying, wait a minute, I can do this. See, we're building your story, so leverage the story of other people. But guys, you got to get people to big events. It's something magical that happens when you get people out to big events. They start seeing themselves walk across stage. They start saying, I love when people come up to me and say, can I touch the ring? And I take it off and put it on their hand. And I say, take a picture with it. Guys, that's why you got to get people out to the power source. You get to duplicate yourself. You get to multiply yourself. People leave out there excited. You got 10 people out there, 20 people, and they all leave out jacked up, excited. Guys, you got to understand, you got to get more and more people to the big events. Now, let's kind of get to the nitty-gritty. As leaders in the IFC, Sonya, are you tracking your attendance? Now, again, I'm asking y'all this question not because I know y'all was doing it, because y'all wasn't, because I wasn't doing it. But after talking to Mark and me looking at his calendar, he's showing me where he can track and see, oh, we had this many people. Oh, I said, oh, my goodness. Okay, I see. See, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. But it made sense to me, Don. I said, oh, that makes sense. It's a business. I got to be able to know my numbers. Not just, oh, what did I make? But is my attendance growing? Are you tracking your attendance? That's the question. Desmond, he said, how many people attended? How many guests did you have? How many teammates? See, we always look at how many guests, but did you have any teammates out? See, they already paid. If you understand this, guys, we got guests, but then we have preferred partners. The people who paid are your preferred partners. They already invested 149, but are they getting plugged in? See, you got to be a promoter even amongst your team. So how many of my teammates did I get out? That's why I need our focus to be. See, this information we got to get to the team because they got to understand. I need you there. I need to see you there Tuesday. You start going through your roll call and talking at the beginning of the week. You're gonna be there, right? How many guests you got coming? See, guys, I'm not telling you to micromanage people, but I'm telling you this is extremely important. You got to be a master promoter. How many guests did you have? So you talk to them, you say, hey, how many of you guys got coming out for your team? I'll give you an example. Joy, a Dawkins Center, she's direct to me. So now I'll call Joy, and I know she's going to be there. I ain't got to ask. She's going to be there. But I'm going to say, Joy, how many people between you and your team are you have? I'm going to start asking all my leaders direct to me, and she's going to tell me, well, why? Because I'm going to ask her, so she's going to know I'm going to ask her. So what's going to happen is she's going to start going talking to her team. And I don't want it to be the way I think they could. No, I want to know how many you got coming out. And then I'm going to be asked a question like, well, did you grow from last week to this week? How many did you have come out last week? See, guys, now you're going to see it changing. It's not going to be uncomfortable, but guys, if we're growing week to week, your income's growing. So you're going to get to diamond, but it's these simple things that we do over a period of time that compound. So if you 1 week got 10 guests out and, 12 business partners, and then next week you get 20, see those people that joined, they come back out. Guys, you're growing. Isn't that exciting? But I realize it's not that people are doing it's not that they're better. They're just perfecting simple things. They're building a culture and building from big events. So I wonder how many did you enroll? You can look at genealogy. So guess what? On Mondays, there's meetings in Huntsville, meetings in Milwaukee, meetings in all over. But you want to track because you're talking to your teammates. How many teammates did you get to the big event? Is your attendance growing or going backwards? And now this was something that was said, and I thought this was powerful. And Mark really shared it. This blessed me. I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing this. They give recognition, and the recognition could be, like, let's say weekly attendance. Which one of your teammates had the most of their teammates out? They give a leadership award. Is that something the company does? No. That's something they do. It ain't, I got to give them money, but what does that mean? You're leading your team. You're helping them. Say, no, I said, this week, since I used her, Joy, she won. You had the most of your teammates and the most guests come out. So guess what? When we circle up, Joy got the leadership award. What's that mean? She's leading her team. Now, guess what? Next week, who's going to get it next week? See, what if you had even in your own group, I know you're saying, that's good. I know. I was like, man. But it creates a culture. When people think that they show up. So I said, man, that's good. And I'm not saying it could be a pennant. It could be whatever. It's just the title. If you do a newsletter, you announce, guys, this person won the leadership award. Because leadership, if you're taking a walk but nobody's following you, if you just keep coming week after week but nobody's there, no guests are there, and that also serves us as leaders to be the example, and guess what, have guests out. So this was good. As I was talking and asking questions, guys, talking to another national, just seeing some things sharpening the sword. This really empowered me today. And I said, man, this is going to bless people. I mean, I couldn't wait to get on here tonight. Let me come up with a couple of things. Now, it's so important at the end that you circle it with your team. You're going to have leaders, and leaders are going to have guests out, and they're going to be meeting with different leaders. But it is important that you circle it with your team. Think about it like this. In football, they huddle, and that quarterback calls a play, and they come out and they run the play. So listen to me. Make sure that you circle up with your team. Don't let people, tell them up front, listen, we're going to all circle up before we leave. Why? Because it's important that they introduce you to the guests. Number two, it's important that you create that culture. See, first in, last to leave. That's got to be the culture, guys. Be there early. We're going to be there. Leave late. It's game night. I like what Jason Orlando's like. It's game night, right? So in your circle, make sure you keep people informed. So if something's coming up, hey, guys, don't forget to register for the convention. Sometimes I'll do announcements or whatever. But, guys, keep your team informed. Let them know what the focus is, but call a play. That was good. That was good. See, you the leader of your team, call a play. What's the play you calling? See, what I've seen people do, I've seen people look at the first row and they say, listen, our goal next week, I think I went too far. Our goal next week is to have this front row. And they say, can we do it? And they're like, yeah, but collectively, guys, that's what we're doing. I say this, but I'm understanding. We didn't come to take sides. We came to take over. See, Pat, we gotta be focused. We got to be intentional. Lecturer, this is how we do it. You got a big event coming up, and guess what? We got to focus on being promoters. We got people out. We got to be talking to people. Hey, how many you got? We got to be promoters. Now, let's kind of bring this in because you're going to like this. I told you it's the best promoter wins in this game. You got to continually be promoting. Guys, you shouldn't sit in the car. This should be exciting to you. Michelle, we got to continually be promoting. If you get their money, you know they're going. So let's say convention. You're not gathering their money, but instead of asking, are you going? Here's what I want to start asking. Did you register? Start having people send you registrations. Start really celebrating the people who registered. See, because what we want repeated, we reward. See, that was just some good things. What I'm saying is it really empowered me. I want to empower you. Same thing I got. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to share this. See, now when people register, make it a big deal. Why? Because people want that promotion. So guess what? It's just like when y'all say, oh, they passed the CTC. That's great. So other people say, oh, I want to get that promotion, or I want to get recognized. When somebody else brings somebody in, they see that you put them on Facebook and say, hey, congratulate this person. Great. But what if you say, guess what? Such and such registered for a convention. Whoa, that's a big deal. And everybody's saying, congrats. Oh, way to go. You're a superstar. Guess what other people want? So now you got more people registering. But what happens when you got 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 people at the national convention with you? And they all hear the same information. They all hear the test. Do you understand how fast your business will grow? But I want you to understand the big picture, but we got to break it down to the micro. What about the weekly? See, we got to be promoters. We got to get more and more people to the big events. We got to take this information. We got to now share it with our teams. You got to go call and have a team meeting. I can't wait for these next slides. I know. Can y'all tell I'm excited? It's hard for me to sit down, Cynthia. I'm telling you. See, Cynthia left. I am so excited. Now, in Atlanta, we got a badge system. See, now I'm asking you, did you purchase your badge? I'm going to highlight people. Why? Because it's a big deal. That shows commitment. I ain't got to worry you're going to be there every week. I need you to purchase a badge. Or you might run a contest. And in your contest, you might say, hey, but I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just simply saying no investment, no return. The people who already pay the money up front, you know they committed. Why? They're going to be there. I ain't got to worry about you going to quit. No. Even if you ain't there this week, I know you committed. You done paid for a badge. You done paid 150, whatever. So I'm just encouraging you guys, let's really focus on the big things. Let's tell our teammates, even when they come in Atlanta, the badge I think is $30 for the month or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. It's $30, let's say. But here's my point. I know when they brand new, it's $15 for the month. We need to start telling them, I need you to invest and get yourself a badge. We got to promote that. What we promote, that's what people are going to do. See, what we want repeated, that's what we reward. We got to start rewarding getting more people out to the big events. Getting more people out to the big events. Guys, no investment, no return. So don't ask people, are they going? Ask them, are you registered? Have you registered yet? When they talk to you, are you registered? You registered for the black tie? You registered for this? You registered for Super Saturday? I don't really care. Are you coming? How many guests you got coming? That's what I want us to start doing. Let's sell out to move in more and more people to the power source. Now, I went through that quickly to get to this. Overcoming objections. We talked about this. And we always talk about what do I got to talk about to prospects to get them in the business. But guys, you got some business partners who give you objections. And we're going to talk about getting to big events. This is why I was so excited. I wanted to get to this one. Now, people say, well, I can't afford to go. I can't afford the weekly meeting. I can't. So, again, you remember the training we did on hear them out, feed it back to them in the form of a question. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but what I found. Stress the benefit. So I'm not going to go back over that because that was a training. You can look at the webinar. The concept's still the same. But what I'm saying is just like you have to overcome objections with prospects. Is this a pyramid? I don't have the money. Guess what? You got business partners who give you objections. But you say, okay. And you say, listen, you're going to be there Tuesday. They say, well, I can't come. And you don't say, well, why not? Why can't you come? You said you want to win. What you mean you can't come? You Kobe Bryant on the Lakers. Can you imagine Kobe Bryant didn't show up to the game? I mean, what you mean you can't come? I need you to be there. See, guys, we never challenge people. We never challenge people to say, why can't you come? We just accepted their excuses. Oh, okay. No. See, Gregory, ooh, this is so good. See, people are going to say, look, why can't afford a Super Saturday? You're going to be there Saturday, right? Well, I ain't got the money. So guess what? This is an example. Well, can I ask you a question? Yeah. How much does it cost for 4 years of college or college costs? Well, or how much did it cost you? Like they went to school? Ask them how much did it cost them, right? And why do people pay for it? And then what I'm saying is you're having a discussion. You never ask a question you don't know the answer to, but you know it costs more than one. See, you're asking them this to get their mind to thinking. But why do people pay for it? Well, so I can get a better job. But are there any guarantees when you graduate that you're going to get a job? No. Well, isn't the cost of this event small, especially compared to the college and the income potential involved here? See, guys, you go to school, get a degree, and still can't come find a job. And we're trying to get them to think as business owners. So what I'm saying is, yes, they may say I can't afford them, but instead of you saying, oh, okay, Ask them, well, let me ask you a question. I'm going to challenge everybody to do this. When people start giving you excuses on your team, I want you the same way that you overcome objections. I want you to do the same thing. Hear them out. Let them know, fit them out in the form of a question, but challenge them. Give them a different way of thinking about it. But let them know, listen, people say they can't afford it, but I really believe you can't afford not to go. You said you want to make $50,000 a month. You said you want to make $10,000 a month. See, all I know is, yeah, you don't have to go, but all the big leaders go to the big meetings. All the meetings go to the weekly meeting. You told me you want to be successful, right? You told me you want to send your son to private school, right? See, what I'm asking you to do is, guys, yes, you're going to get objections. You're going to get people say, well, I can't go. I just ain't got the money. Well, I'm just not. Guys, that's just objection. But guess what? Have a discussion with them. Try to elevate the way they think. What's another one? What's another thing people say? I just don't have time. I got so much going on. It's just a lot going on. You know, I just don't know if I have time to do this. So ask them. Again, same concept. I say, Gwen, can I ask you a question? How many years and here's what I like doing. I know I said this, but a lot of times I like asking this one question. And do me a favor, write this down. It's not in the notes, but please do this one. Ask people, can you have real talk? Say, may I have permission? Can we have real talk? Because a lot of people make excuses on your team, and if you don't ask for permission, can we have real talk, they could get offended. But when you say, can we have real talk, it allows you to have a real discussion with them. Because they're making excuses. And you can make excuses, you can make money, but you can't make both. So what I'm saying is this. People are going to give you reasons why. I don't have any time. But listen, again, how many years did you invest to go to college? And you knew the answer to that, 4 years. But ask them, say, why did you do that? And they're going to tell you, well, wouldn't it be foolish to have an expectation of success in any field of endeavor without committing to training? Or that would be foolish to, however you want to say it, and then you can use a tie down. Wouldn't it? Couldn't it? You agree, right? And they be like, well, that's true. See, now you're getting them on your side. See, guys, it's okay for people. See, what I want you to understand as business owners, people are going to naturally have objections. They don't know. They're trained to think as an employee. So they thought their excuse is going to be good. But guess what? It's raining outside. Well, when it's raining, you go to work. I'm asking us to have a little backbone. And when we go talk to our teammates, so I'm asking you to talk to your teammates and start, guess what? Personally calling them, not waiting until Tuesday or Monday or whenever your meeting is, start in the beginning of the week talking to them, having discussions. But what if you got 50% of your team to come out? What if you got 50% of your team not only come out and get guests? What if you said, let's do 3 ways? What would happen to your team? What would happen to see, guys, I'm telling you, this blessed me so much today. I said, oh, I can't wait to get on IFC tonight. But you ask them, and what I'm saying is don't get caught up in, well, what do I say to them? I don't know what you say to them. What I am telling you is just because they give you an excuse, don't take it. Just like overcoming objections, hear them out. Say, look, I understand exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found was this. See, you can't expect to be successful. I know, and they're going to make excuses. Guys, don't buy it. Don't take it. Get permission to be direct. Get permission to have a discussion and challenge them. What am I saying? So wouldn't you agree investing a couple hours on Saturday is a small price to pay for the potential income you can make, isn't it? Well, that's true. This is a good one right here. Y'all going to like this one. Ooh. Same one. I don't have time to go, but watch this. You can ask them, well, how many years did it take a doctor or attorney to go to school to make 6 figures? Well, if the event could position you with the knowledge so that you can make 6-figure incomes, you could move some things around, couldn't you? See, people say, well, I'm busy. I know you're going to think, well, they ain't your children, and I get it. They're not your children. But ask them, is what you're doing on Saturday going to potentially make you 6 or 7 figures? And the answer is no. Well, then you could move some things around, couldn't you? You never asked them. You didn't stress how important it was. You just, okay. Now, I'm not telling you if they got something that's major, they can't make it, they can't make it. But I'm asking you, have you pressed the issue? Have you asked them? Have you held them accountable? They told you up front you could push them. They said they want to win. I'm saying, are you using what they say to close them in the business, to close them and getting back out to the big event? It's $15, right? Don't buy their excuse. My daughter has a birthday party. Oh, ain't they so cute? You scheduled that, didn't you? Y'all say, wait a minute, that's too far, Shetty. You done lost it. Listen, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is this. They scheduled the birthday party. Change the schedule. I don't want to disappoint. They can have a birthday party any day of the week. Many times, if their birthday is on Monday, they don't have it till Saturday. So guess what? They can change it around. Well, guess what? You can have what I'm simply, Shetty, that's just, no. That's just, you gone too far. Listen to me, guys. You want to win? I'm just simply saying, as a leader, you can't be scared to challenge people. I'm not saying that you got to miss major events. I'm not saying that, but I'm asking you, you'll be amazed. I guess I could. Yes, you can. Can you do it later? What time is it? And sometimes they say, listen to me, guys. When people talk to you, sometimes listen, because they tell you about something. We're talking about Saturday morning, and they'll be telling you about something they got to do Saturday night. And they may not stay for the whole thing, but can you come to get something? So this is what one of the guys said. He said, you love your children, don't you? Of course. What answer is that? We know the answer to that. What's more, let me ask you a question. What's more important, one event or an example of success? Do you know families who their parents attended all the games and they didn't become successful? I do. I know that. I know some people that they went to every single person's game and their children, they still ain't successful. See, but do you also know children, and I'm saying this could go either way. I'm not trying to get you to pit against their children. That's not what I'm saying. You know my heart. You know me. What I'm trying to do is empower you to say, listen, when they give you these excuses, stop buying them. So ask some questions, talk to them. Do you know children whose parents didn't attend every event, but their children became extremely successful? See, what makes a difference, or what's more important ingredient? Love and the parent's example. See, guys, we are examples. We show our children. I love, and I'm going to use this as an example, I love that Joy Dawkins will bring her children to the event. See, a lot of people, well, they can't come. Why not? Her daughter, Gracie, will write notes and can give a presentation better than some people on my team. And I love when people listen to the IMV with their children. They're learning. They're becoming better. But you think you use your children as your excuse instead of your reason why you should. And I'm telling you, people will give you excuses, but stop buying them. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Your teammates. What's another one? This is discontinued. Is putting your family first attending games or creating success opportunities for them? Well, the answer is creating success opportunities for them. So talk about successful families. Talk about the Kelly Ridgeways and Sydney Ridgeways. Talk about the people that, because of the business, use examples. Talk about the Walter Powells, the different people. So, guys, that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to wrap it up. I got one more. I already went over that one. I'll go to the next one. You heard this one before. See, I ain't playing with y'all tonight. I'm going to go to the next one. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Does that mean that every event's the same? Well, no. I mean, the speaker that's going to be there this weekend is Donald Bradley. Have you, Mark Sterling, this gentleman, again, you're using their story. Now, where do I find their story? If you go to teamworkglobal.com, it has a little bio of all the diamonds. Lori, but guess what? The speaker is one of the most successful people, guys. Share a little bit of their story. He's making about $50,000 a month. Let me ask you a question. Would you like to make what he or she's making? Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Are they going to come to your house and teach you? No. And you probably want to make sure that you do what it takes not to miss this one, wouldn't you? See, again, you're going to hear me saying this, but I was so excited because I'm seeing leaders, they're challenging their team. They're not just taking the excuse. They're saying, listen, now I'm not giving y'all license, guys, to be, again, this is a volunteer army. If they don't come, they don't come. But I'm just asking you as a leader to, guess what? Let's start leading. Let's start challenging people. Let's start giving them reasons why they should, not accepting reasons why they can't. Now, having said that, this is the last one, and we're going to open up for questions. So many of us, and this is what I've been saying, are accepting our people's excuses when they tell us they can't come. And you can't boss them. They're not your employees. I'm going to say it again. You can't boss them. They're not your employees. You cannot force them to be there. But what you can do is ask the right questions to help them understand why they're making the wrong decision. And you want to help them make the right decision. See, guys, that's what it should be, a discussion. That's why I said up front, you ask some questions like, well, can I ask you a question? That's why I told you up front, you ask them, can we have real talk? That's why you get permission. So what you're doing is helping them understand that you got two choices. You got the red pill, you got the blue pill. It's your choice, but you're about to make the wrong decision. And that's all I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to come across as no dictator. I'm not asking you to, that's not, again, don't go pushing your team. You better be there. You're not serious. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just simply saying ask for permission to ask the question. Ask for permission. They say you can challenge them. Challenge them and ask them to find a way. Matter of fact, I'm going to use this example. I'll probably have her come on for all y'all to benefit, but I remember Miss Joy Dawkins, again, I saw the potential, but we had the IMV. And I remember, I'm going to tell her my version. She'll tell a different version, but I'm going to tell my version. We had the IMV, and Joy, I kept saying, well, did you make it? Well, I got to get my kids ready for school. Okay. I didn't press it, but it's okay. So then one day I told Joy, and you'll find out she's very competitive, and I hope she don't mind me saying this, but I said, Joy, your mom figured it out. And all I said was figure it out. I don't know what but figure it out. And guess what? She figured it out. And now she don't miss it. It's like she's a hallmark. Joy from Stone Mountain. I mean, she doesn't miss it. But guess what? There was a point in time you don't know that it was friction. It was like, I can't make that. Okay. Well, Joy, you said you want to win, right? I do. Well, Joy, figure it out. I don't know what you got to figure it out. All leaders. What I'm trying to tell you guys, we can't be scared to lead people. We got to challenge people to be at the big events. You got to challenge your team. Are you registered for the convention? All right, listen, I need you to register for the convention. Are you registered? Text me when you register. Start making it a big deal on your team page who register. Guys, when we do this and we build from event to event, our organization is going to explode. So I was so excited. Like I said, man, I was like, okay, I got to find out, Mark, what y'all doing? You know, I mean, not like, but what? They just building from event to event. And then he was sharing with me that a lot of times what they do as a leader, and he learned this in another company, but they'll pre-buy tickets. If the tickets, as a leader, he'll buy and then challenge his leaders. And so I said, okay, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start pre-buying tickets or whatever to the event and then challenge my leaders to go. I'm not paying for them. I'm just simply saying I'm a challenger. I'm going to take the investment up front. So this empowered me. As y'all can hear me, I told y'all over and over and over again. But I just felt that this was something I had to come in and say, you know what, let me talk to them about that so they can understand the importance of big events. Now, this is not in my notes, but let me share one more thing with you. When you go to big events, you will meet a lot of people. When you go to big events, you're going to hear a lot of people share some of the things they did. Nothing wrong with it. But listen to me. You want to follow the advice or the philosophy of your leader, the person that has a vested interest in your success. What I'm saying is just because you go to a meeting and somebody says, this is what I did, that don't mean that you do it. Please listen to me. Your philosophy is what you call your management philosophy, how you run, how you do what you do. This is not in the notes, but please listen to me. So what happens is once you really get down your management philosophy, that's when your business is going to start growing. In the beginning, you borrow the philosophy of your leaders because they've had success. If they're national, you're trying to get national, you should be talking to them about what they did. But listen to me. What happens is this. People go to big events and they listen to any and everybody, and then they get confused. They're trying to do everything that everybody's doing, and they never just focus on doing the simple things that they were taught to do. They start trying to change it. Ooh, I'm going to do this. And guys, what I'm saying, the worst thing than not having a philosophy is to have a changing philosophy. So this is just a word of advice that, yes, you're going to go to different events. You're going to go to the weekly meeting. You're going to meet different people. I'm not telling you not to ask people what they're doing. I'm not telling you not to implement what other people are doing. I'm telling you to confide with your leader and say, listen, this is great. I think it could work. Guess what? I'm not telling you not to try it. I'm just telling you one of the worst things that you do is every time you come back, you change it or doing something new. The worst thing you could do is you got people following you, and every time they come back, you introducing something new or doing something new. That's not the goal. The goal is to keep doing the simple things over and over and over and over until it becomes a habit. And then when you keep doing it over and over and over till other people can duplicate what you do. And that's when you'll have success. That's when you'll see it start really multiplying. So one of the things that you can do is be consistent. You keep coming. And as you keep coming, you get your team to keep coming. And if you get to be consistent with that one thing, Mr. Bradley would say it for years. Trey and Shedrick were just consistent. He never had to worry, we're going to be there on Tuesdays. It's just certain things. And as people develop that consistency, that's half the battle. You'll be 50% of people by just simply showing up. 40% of people you're going to beat by doing what's right, and the last 10% is the dogfight. But guys, this was so exciting to me. Now, having said that, my assignment for you, really, then we're going to talk about the things I mentioned. I implemented this today, and it was good. If nobody else enjoyed it, I enjoyed today's training for me. Now, having said that, all I want you to do is, guys, this week, again, if there's no weekly meeting in your area, I want you to put down a travel party. We talked to you about having a travel party. You can watch a DVD. You can plug up and push the play. You can use Shanaz's video. You can do the PowerPoint presentation. You can read it. It's just doing the activity. But I want you to set up and do a travel party if there's not a meeting in your area. If there's a meeting in your area, I want you to commit to going to the meeting. Now, with committing to going to the meeting, what I also want you to do is I want you to call everybody in your team in that same city, and I want you to ask them or challenge them to meet you there. You might say, well, let's meet early. I want to have a team meeting. It's okay. You're the leader. Call a play. Call a huddle. Have your team meet you. Get with your upline leadership and hey, do 15, 20 minutes before the meeting. But I want everybody to call a play and get your team to come and meet you and see who's going to follow you. Call a play. Number two, when you do that, what I want you to do is see how many guests they're going to have. I want us to get good at starting to track what we're doing. And so again, remember that tracking sheet that I told you, the tracker? It says your team goal and what you did. So this is like right in line with what we talked about. But guys, some people went out this week and did some things. Now, your first sheet will be due this Sunday because we're doing a full week. So from Sunday to Sunday, you'll turn in your sheets of activity for this week. I introduced it last week. Last call I went over when I was here. I went over what it is, how it works. I think that was Monday when the game was on. But I didn't record Monday session, so if you missed it, you can call me and I can really go over what I did. Was I went over the planner. I really what it was, and the sheet that you need to turn in, I went over what it was. But this is a key factor in you building from event to event. And guys, if you can get your team to follow you and go to big events, you can see your organization really go to another level. And so having said that, what I'm going to do is open up for any questions that you may have. So as I go through, I want to see, does anybody have any questions about what we cover or any questions that you have about anything else? So I'm going to go through and scroll and see if anyone has any questions. Ms. Dawn Green, your hand is up. Do you have a question?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Linda Hughes, your hand is up. Do you have a question?
I was just thanking you for these webinars. They're very informative and they're awesome. Great information. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Miss Vanita Boyd, did you have a question? Your mic is unmuted now. Did you have a question? Miss Vanita Boyd, did you have a question? Okay. I think some people typed in a couple questions. Let me see what they are, and then we will so thank you. Okay, so people enjoyed the webinar. Well, guys, thank you.